All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting edition of What Am I Doing? Uh, in this one, we're going to talk about how to make the proper spaced holes for you to use customized laser cut parts and interface them with the VEX components. Whenever you look at those little VEX components, whether it's the VEX IQ or the VEX EDR, steel hardware, or the VEX V5, whatever, they all have these same recurring patterns, and the parts are designed to fit into these square parts or these square holes here. Basically, we could copy this whole thing and then paste it into another document, but then it's going to want to cut out every one of these little holes, and that will cause the laser to burn your piece of plywood. So that's not going to work too well. What we need to do is be strategic about which holes we want to cut, and basically just take this geometry and copy it into here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make a fresh file, a new design, and I'm just going to make a general car body. I'm going to start out with just a simple rectangle, and it's going to be 3 inches. So that's going to be like 75 millimeters tall by approximately, let's go 9 inches. So that's going to be 225 millimeters long. Okay, cool. I'm going to extrude that to be 1/4 of an inch. So that's going to be 0.25 IN. All right, so 6.35 millimeters. Cool, groovy. That's going to be the basis of my body. I expect you'll have a much different shaped body. It would probably be longer, maybe a little narrow. I don't know. Maybe you'll have some tapering to it. Maybe you'll put Homer Simpson's face on it to be engraved. I don't know. You be creative. I just need to make copies of this. Now, if I use my inspect tool here in Inventor, I'm finding that the holes are 0.128 inches across in both directions. And then when I click this point to find out how often they repeat, it's a 1/2 inch. And I can look and find that out in both directions. It doesn't matter which way, it's a rectangular pattern that repeats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sketch, and I'm going to try and put that pattern here. So I'm going to create my sketch, and I'm going to think about this. I'm going to mount my mouse trap somewhere in the front of this. So therefore, I'm going to go ahead and have my sketch be on the back side. And I want to go ahead and I want to put, let's just go with right there. Looks-ish good. And I said 0.182 inches by 0.182 inches. And obviously, Fusion is going to automatically convert that over to millimeters for me, so that way my equipment will cut it out. So I've got that. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to extrude that, drag that arrow downwards to change it all into the cut operation, and I want it to be all. So that way it's going to be all the way through that thing. That's the easy part. Now we've actually got to get that rectangular pattern to apply. So we're going to come up here to create, and we're going to select pattern. In the wheel video, we did the circular. Now we're going to do the rectangular. So again, I want to make sure I'm selecting a feature because it's this little square feature that I want to pattern. And the axis that I want to have this pattern on, I want it to be on this axis here. Cancel. All right. Objects, features. I want that object. And then I want that as my axis, as well as that as my axis. So now it's seeing that I've got 2 axes. Okay. Now this one, I want to be every 1/2 inch. Okay. 0.5, not 0.56, 0.5 inches. Okay? And it's very important for your distribution. You want to make sure you're not going extent, because that would say we want 3 of them in 1/2 inch. We want to be spacing here. Okay. And so now if I move my little dialog box over, I can see that there's this quantity 3. So I can tell it however many I want it to have. Okay. And that's operating in that direction. Okay. Now, a lot of our VEX components require, for the axles at least, require 3 holes. They've got one on the outside on each side for the screw, and then the center hole is going to hold your axle. So have a few of them so that way you can play with some sizes there. And then when you're placing other things, make sure you're going in even inch increments from some common reference point. Now to go that way, we want to again be 0.5 inches. And I just want to do 2 in that direction. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and say okay. And now I have this pattern of holes here that will match our VEX hardware. So you would be able to customize where you want to place your VEX hardware. And of course, if you want to manipulate that, if you want to edit it, you'd come up in here into edit. Like let's say for this one, I wanted to do 3. That way, if I felt like I could go vertical, go ahead, you can do that. So let's see here. Okay, so if you decide you want to go this route and laser cut a body component, this is your first step. First, you have to create your rough body shape, and you have to create the pattern of stuff that you want inside there. Then you'll have to follow some following videos in order to actually get it into a format that will laser cut for me. So hopefully you found this useful. By the way, make sure you go File, Save, Body Pattern 2, KG2, save. All right. Have a great day. See you later.